bright at midnight, goes by the sunrise. How would all my disguise when I'm in my room? In my room.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Clue the motherfucking Don for another episode of Country Fan Mill Podcast. I want to thank everybody for coming in, everybody for coming back. And if you like what you hear, if you like what you see, and you want to hear more content, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure that you also follow us on every podcast streaming platform. Literally, there probably isn't a podcast streaming platform that I am not on. I made sure of it. And shout out to Good Pods app, the Good Pods app. I found out that I was number 13 out of 100 for top indie podcast apps. Music interview podcast. Let me rephrase that. So yes, definitely shout out to Good Pods for that. Heading out to y'all. And once again, shout out to all of my listeners, especially my international listeners. Y'all are going up. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all. But without further ado, I have a very, very special guest coming to the stage. She was highly recommended by somebody else that I've interviewed before, but it's not about them. It's about her. So I'm going to be bringing her to the stage. Lovely, lovely young lady. I don't even want to call what her genre is. I'm just going to call it sonically pleasing. I'm just going to call it amazingly sonically pleasing. I'm going to let her explain herself. But introducing to the stage, I have this KAO. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. I didn't want to mispronounce it. Thank you for coming to the stage.
Thank you.
No problem. So, yeah. So, first thing I'd like to ask everybody before we get into anything, what was the first song that you listened to when you woke up this morning?
Very first song, I would probably say Unpredictable by Destin Conrad.
Dustin Conrad. Okay. All right. I'm going to check that out. Was that a newer release or something older?
It's a little older. He's like an R&B artist. He's Kehlani's cousin, so he's kind of breaking his way through, underground scene.
Getting himself in there. Okay. All right. Good stuff. All right. So, KO. So would you consider yourself an R&B artist, a pop artist, soul?
I don't like genres. I wouldn't really put myself in one because I like to play with my sound a lot. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you put it the best way, sonically pleasing. So whatever suits best for the ears, in the mood.
And that's what I was getting from it. Like I tried my best to I tried not to put people in genres, but sometimes people just fall easily into them. And then sometimes people do not. They just make themselves very fluid. And there was another interview I had. Her name was Makita Iroquois. And she was saying the same thing as far as her music. She was just like, sometimes I might be rapping, sometimes I might be singing, sometimes I might be, doing something more gospelish. Sometimes I'm doing, it's a wave. So it's definitely appreciated. So how long have you been making music?
I would say going on 3 years now. Definitely
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I was definitely curious with that because I try my best to deep dive on everybody that I bring out to the show, and I was growing so frustrated that I couldn't find anything from you from past 3 years ago. So I was like, oh man, she has her stuff on lock because you don't sound like you've just been making music for 3 years.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's mostly like I really just started recording like in these last 3 years. Honestly, writing also more structured wise, I can make a song out of the words. But I would say 3 years is when I really started like really diving into like my craft and recording and like really writing. So.
And when do you think when can you remember the first time you picked up a pen or the first time that you realized like, hey, my voice actually sounds good?
Well, it took me probably up until like this year to really like, accept my voice as its own uniqueness. So for years, people have been telling me I could sing. I grew up in church, so in the choir, like I was chose for leads and stuff like that. I would say when I first knew, okay, I got a gift is when I was at my piano recital. I sung while I was also playing the piano and the audience was crying. So I was like, this is big.
Like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing something.
Yeah, I guess I'm doing something good.
Okay. Damn, that's wild. And like, was it something that you felt like was being I guess when you want to do something as a child, if somebody wants to play basketball, somebody might be like, "All right,
Mhm.
here, I'm gonna put a basketball in your hand. I'm gonna send you to basketball practice."
Mhm.
Was it kind of like that? Were they kind of feeding into your want to sing and play the
Oh
piano?
yeah. My family, like I'm blessed to have a family that's all about following your dreams. So it was always, we gonna put you in piano. We just gonna like get you like mastered in your gifts.
Mm,
So yeah,
that's
I was surrounded by a good support system.
okay. Okay, and so kind of running it back a little bit, kind of starting from the beginning. I hopped around a little bit already. Kind of starting from the beginning. Young KAO, like
Mhm.
where did this start? Where did kind of like where did you grow up? Kind of how was your childhood, as you would describe it?
I would say I am the only girl of five, so I was definitely alone, and I'm the youngest.
Mm,
So kind of like the only child syndrome. I got that a little bit.
yeah,
Um, I would say it was really just me and my thoughts, and I had friends. I'm not gonna act like I was alone or a loser. That's not a loser, but I wasn't alone.
yeah.
But it was mostly really just me, and really music was my best friend. Like even though I really started getting into it like these last few years, like I've always been into poetry and reading in English and stuff like that. Not a lot of my peers were into that, so a natural isolation, which was fine.
Got you.
It was perfectly fine.
So you were more so into the actual, almost like the composition of the music, or the actual
Mhm.
the details of the music, more than just how it sounded.
Honestly, yeah, like I would say like I'm all about like conveying a message, whether it's like for the world or for myself. And if I can do that through music, I can do that through music. If I can do that through poetry, I can do that through poetry, through writing, all of that. So yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. So who are some of those artists that you remember first gravitating toward, like when you were coming into the time that you can remember music for?
Well, I grew up in a very Christian household, so mostly gospel artists. I grew up like on Kirk Franklin, Ty Tribbett. Um, my mom, she had her moments where you threw some R&B artists in there. So like Layla Hathaway and
Yeah.
Jill Scott, real heavy, Erica Badu, all these artists. And I love that I was surrounded by, different sounds like that, because I feel like it just molded my sound too. So yeah.
And what about your siblings? I know you said you were the youngest of five, so you have four older brothers. Like, how was
Yeah.
that kind of, say like how was that growing up, and also what kind of influence did that have on your music?
I would say my brothers were very, I would say we're like six plus years apart, like with all of them. The
Mm,
oldest one is like 30. He has kids and all that stuff. Almost all of them got kids now. So I'm dead serious. So I really was like alone. So it really wasn't like I had time to really be with my brothers and them have much of an influence on me. It was more like watching them through like a TV screen since I'm so
mhm.
young. Um, I feel like I was pretty knowledgeable for my age, so I knew a lot of stuff that was happening, which taught me to, maneuver different mistakes and stuff. But my closest brother to me, well, my mom's son, he does music too.
Mm,
So he, that's my big brother. I was intrigued. He used to sing and all that stuff. So he influenced me that way too. And we're both music heads. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's dope. That's dope. So y'all kind of had that passing back and forth.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so have y'all ever done any joint projects together, or will y'all ever do any
Not
joint projects?
yet. We will. He be asking me all the time. It's me. I'm trying to like, I got this plan in my head, and people want me to hop on features and stuff, and I'm like, I want to, but it's like I
I
got a vision.
I see, I saw that. I'm so glad you said that because, I
Mhm.
posted something. I'm posting a reel for us, trying to get this going. And somebody like, yo, can I be on the remix? Can I,
Yeah.
can I be on I was just like, yo, they're like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. You deserve your flowers because you honestly do put out really, really good music. And that song right there, off that, what you call it, a mixtape or EP?
EP, yeah.
The EP, off that EP, the fragments, at the horizon of the horizon, excuse me.
Hmm.
In my room, is probably my favorite. I thought that Allure was and then I bought it, but I kind of went through it because actually I thought the first track was, and then I got to Allure, and then so yeah, it really just progressively got better.
Yeah.
So like, what was your psyche when you were writing that? Like, what was that, a quickly written EP, or did it take a long time?
Took a long time. I wrote in my room back in 2019. And that was a time period where I was, dealing with.
That makes a lot of sense too.
I was dealing with men, and I was dealing with, growing up and all that stuff, and facing myself as an individual. And then these last two songs, those were written this year. Those were my quicker songs, but all three of these songs come from a place of basically me just like finding myself the healthy way, taking the healthy route of healing. And Fragments of the Horizon, basically it's a piece of a project. Like, that's the whole point of the name. So there's going to be something else after that too, of course. But these songs are basically me just seeing the brighter side of things. That's literally what all the music is about. Like, letting go of stuff that I don't need, finding my truth, finding my worth in God, like all of that stuff.
So you say it's gonna be part, and I was hoping, by the name, that it was gonna be like some sort of a multi-part or compilation type thing. So this part you say is being the brighter side. Are the other parts going to be exploring different emotions, or is it still going to be on that same energy?
I would say that's a good question. Really, I like the way I'm trying to do this idea that I have for this project is to convey different parts of my life, emotions, or like just telling a story in the most digestible way I can. I really don't want no one sad and all mopey to my music, even though I'm talking about some real stuff. Yeah. It's supposed to just basically just like, honestly, just go through like what I know so far on this journey I'm on. That's why I released this piece of it, because I still haven't feel like I finished this phase yet. That's going to be this next piece. That's this sequel to this EP I just dropped. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that. And before we dive too much into that, because there is another part that I want to come into, but I want to keep that for the second part because it makes more sense. But going back into coming into that music, finding your own music, and finding that I feel like as music heads, we always find ourselves with different groups of friends. We have a group of friends that ain't music heads, and we got the group of friends that are music heads.
Yes.
And sometimes those music heads friends might be everywhere, right? Like, I had Pimp. Like, I remember I was on I'm aging myself. Lupe Fiasco had a fan page, and he had a chat box on the fan page. It was firstand15.com. And we used to be in a little fan pages, chatting away. I'm still friends with some of these people, and this was, almost 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But we know that music heads, we stay together. So, as far as that journey, has any of those people actually stuck with you, or have y'all stayed in sync to the point where they're doing music now themselves?
No. My childhood friend, we used to sing together, like, and like throughout middle school. That's what we was the duo singing and all that stuff. We went separate paths. I do have one of my other closest friends. She's a music head too, but she's not, I don't want to say talented. Sorry, that's me. She's just not a musician. She's just not a musician, that she.
I got you. Now, I feel that though, because I love music so much, and I'm not talented in it either, that I was like, I want to contribute something to it. So I started a podcast.
Yeah, but like that's still beautiful though, that music can connect you that way too. You don't have to be talented.
For sure. It's going to connect you in all type of ways. And speaking of connections and ways that we make things work, I don't be making enough money doing this podcast and stuff to pay people to do my editing and my video editing. So I'm going to play this commercial right now that I edited myself, and y'all better be nice. One thing I've realized, that while I'm enjoying my day, going about my whereabouts, pushing P, I like to listen to the smooth melodic voice of Kountry motherfucking Don on Country Family Podcast.
You listen to your own music?
Because I know that he is utilizing that mic swap technology. You want to know about mic swap? Check the link in the bio. Country Fan Mail Podcast, including motherfucking Don. We are back after that quick commercial break with the R&B pop amazing. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't even want to put it in genre. I'm just going to play the amazing songstress KAO. So, going back into what we were talking about, we were diving into your music and kind of those inspirations and people that have been around, talented, not talented. um, Display. Shout out to whoever that friend is. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you now.
So there was something that I noticed that was really interesting on your social media, and I say it was interesting just because of the time that I felt like we all were in during this time. There was like a gap in which you just kind of disappeared. It was from like 2019 to like 2021. You disappeared for this amount of time, and when you came back, it's not that it wasn't you, but you could definitely see that there was some sort of transformation in the person that you had become. And I feel like I feel like, of course, we all know what happened in 2020. That's when, COVID, it finally came to the States, and, it really fucked everybody up. Well, it hit everywhere, it fucked everybody up, and everybody kind of dealt with something that time. But I feel like a lot of people flooded to social media. A lot of people just ran to social media during that time because that's all we had. But you dipped the fuck out. You were just like, I'm fucking gone. So like, without you don't have to get into too many details because clearly you were off the map because you didn't want people to know what was up. But what kind of experience, I guess, would you say that you were going through at the time?
I would say I had just graduated high school. This was that time period I was really debating. I'm like, I'm not going to college. I can't see myself doing a 9-to-5, no office job. I need to be realistic with myself. Like, do I want to do music? Like, is this something I really want to do? And social media and seeing everybody, kind of do get to the dream that you want to get to too. So what looks like quickly kind of can discourage you. I really didn't need that type of influence on me. And then also on top of that, I was 18. I kind of wanted to be young and just like, do whatever, not focus on like what's really important to me at the time. But during that time period, I would say I had to really make a decision to be like, okay, am I really gonna like put my head in the game and like put my all into this craft? And I'm like, when I do want to come back with like, with a purpose. I had people starting to become like fans and stuff, and I kind of disappear, and I feel bad because I know people was hitting me up like, what's going on, and I'm like, I'm in my head right now, sorry. So
yeah,
that's basically what was happening.
I mean, one thing I'll say that I've kind of picked up just a little bit that you do actually have out there on social media is that you value having that opportunity to reconnect and to center yourself. And even going to that video existing, you were just like, hey, I just want the weather to be good so I can go outside and meditate. Yeah. And like you were really just like, damn, like I just want to get outside. And I feel like everybody has their own version of that peace and that solace. And also it's difficult when I'm saying this completely out of speculation because I'm not an artist, but I've realized or I've seen that it can be difficult to be an artist and to want to stay relevant, but also be able to stay relevant with yourself.
Be authentic.
So, exactly. Be authentic so you can put out good shit. And so I know you just kind of went into the fact that you just go into your head sometimes and you just got to reconnect. But diving a little bit more into specifically mental health, what are some of those things that you do to kind of really check yourself back in?
Well, we all know I used to do that, disappear, but that's not something I want to keep doing. I say I just I still disappear, but I try to still stay active on my socials. But I just really, I really can't explain it. Like it's a way I just check myself. I just be like, all right, you getting drained. Quit posting. Quit worrying about what other people doing. Delete Instagram at least for a day or two. I I'll try to pray. I'll definitely try to meditate. I'll try to, put some good stuff in my gut, just do anything to just keep my mental health right, because that's what I've always struggled with. Like half of my life, that's all I can remember is struggling with my mental health. And in my music, I try to convey that. I try to let people know that's what I deal with and you're not alone. So I do whatever I can to stay alive. I do whatever I can to stay alive. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But yeah.
Okay, and I see, like, even going back, kind of referencing that video again. It's like, I know it was shot over a couple days, but I feel like, one day you were just getting off of work, or you were talking, maybe just getting off of work, or saying that, like, oh yeah, you just getting off of work or something like that, and then it ends with like your party and shit. And then, like, what I'm saying, like, but yeah, I know, like I said, it's a couple days where it was really a progression, because in between there you were just at home chilling, dancing around in your room, and then you were just driving around in the car. It was sunny outside and it's beautiful, and then you were in a hotel, and then you're out there partying and shit. So it's like, is your life kind of always kind of on that up and down? Or
Honestly, yeah, I feel like I realize now that life is a balance. So like when I got my low moments, I'm low. When I got my highs, I run with it. So
that's kind of what I was leaning to. Yeah, that those the up and downs is just a balance. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, in my video, that's what I was I'm glad you peeped that, because that's why I was really trying to show. I'm trying to, like, that's why at the end I'm like, I be sad. I be sad. Like, y'all may have just seen me partying, but even at that party, I'm like, afterwards I had to take a minute to like recuperate, because I knew before me going to that party I was going downhill, and once I went to the party it was over. So yeah.
And why do you think that is? Like, why do you is it yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Why do you think that is?
Why? What is?
Kind of like getting to that point of like, you feel yourself about to crash, so you're just like, I'm about to burn this bitch out before I crash. Like,
I try not to do that no more. It's not healthy. But you said, why do I do that? It's a bad habit of just my emotions. I'm a very emotional person, and now that I'm very aware and I now have to accept that's who I am, it can become a burden. So it's like, and most of the stuff that I deal with, like mentally, it's the same things just cycling through. So it's like, I'm not really trying to sit down and write this out again. I'm not really trying to go to another therapy session and tell you I feel the same way. It's, let's just take this low and run with it real quick. And then if we got to burn, we're gonna rebuild ourselves back up.
I feel that, and it definitely comes out in your music. It comes out in your music. Listening even to the words of the Stray. I was listening to that track, and I feel like that song, it conveys a certain amount of pain, but it also conveys a certain amount of self-worth as well.
Yeah.
So it you do have for one, your voice is super unique. It's amazingly unique. Honestly, that was the first thing that really gravitated me towards you, and it's always been that way. Even going back to when you're posting videos on Instagram. I can't think of. I think you did the Billie Eilish cover, and man, it was just. And once again, all the comments, yo, let's do a song, let's do a song. But with that, like, I really do. I wish all the best for you, and like I'm super excited to hear more about what you have coming out, and I know that whatever that all is the creative process, and it's gonna make shit even more beautiful for you. And actually, before I end that off, I want to ask a question. Like, so, like, tell me about Slum Baby Family and what that means to you.
Family, those are my guys. You said, what was the last thing you just said?
Oh no, this tell me about Slum Baby Family, like, how y'all met, what they mean to you, type shit.
So, I knew, Dejanel and Tariq. I knew them in high school. I met Corey through Dejanel, through music. They invited me to be a part of the group. They're like very beautiful people individually, and we're very beautiful as a collective. We each bring different personality to the table. We bring uniqueness, different type of uniqueness, and creative perspectives to the table. I value them a lot. Like Corey is like, I value them all equally, but Corey a lot because he pushed me to like really like keep going. Like, you got this. He hit me all the time. Like, you got this. Like, keep going. Like, because it is pretty discouraging. You're not getting the plays you want. But us as a like collective, like they're very beautiful people, and I love them. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely shout out to Corey. That's a really wise dude. It's a hell of a wise dude,
definitely.
and y'all are really a dope collective. Honestly, I feel like it's pretty rare to have two people from the same collective and both of y'all be so dope so early on. Because I pretty much said the same thing to him. Like I would have thought that he had been doing music a little bit longer as well. So I feel like yeah, y'all just keep on doing what y'all doing, and trust me, the frustration with the listens and the plays, that is always going to be a thing until you're like Kendrick or something like that. So it's like it's always gonna be something, but just know that I think the best way that somebody said it is the only way that you can lead the orchestra is when you turn your back to the crowd. So you got to stop paying attention to really what's going on, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like boom. So, but yeah, once again, I really appreciate you coming on. And before we get off, please let everybody know where they can follow you and where they can find your music.
Y'all can follow me at KAO was here. So KO was here, and I'm on all streaming platforms. Just type in KAO on everything, you'll find me. But yeah.
And I just really quick honesty break. I'm gonna let y'all know just how high I was earlier, because every time I was looking at that, I was just like, her name is like KAO Wasaha. Like I was like, I don't know how you say that shit. It's like Wasaha.
It's hilarious.
Oh man. But anyways, Country Family Podcast, clue the motherfucking down. If you like what you heard, if you like what you saw, if you like what you listened to, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you subscribe to this young lady right here, because she is gonna be dropping new music coming soon. I'm putting that in the atmosphere. I'm not even gonna let her correct me on that. I'm just gonna run this real.
Bye.
First bright at midnight, first bright at sunrise.